Luca, look at. Luca, look at. Look at. What is it? That cute experience on the beach where only the heads of my grandsons showed reminds me that our thinking, what goes on in this head of ours, is very important to us serving the Lord the way the Lord wants us to. In fact, in Proverbs 23:7 it says, "As he thinketh, so is he." And of course you remember Psalm 19 verse 14, "Let the meditations of my heart be acceptable in thy sight." The book of Philippians, more than any other book of the Bible, has a narrow concentration on our thinking and on the importance of our thinking when it comes to serving the Lord. As evidence of that, I can point out that in the King James Bible, the word mind shows up in a higher concentration in the book of Philippians than in any other book of the Bible. And it's not even close. We haven't even factored in yet how many times the book of Philippians uses the word thinking, remembering, forgetting, and other mental activities. But there's no question about it. The Apostle Paul is teaching the Philippian church that their success as a church and in serving the Lord is very much depending on how they use their minds. I have to tell you that the mind of Jesus Christ amazes me. How he was able to think right all the time. I'm not talking about him being brilliant, intelligent. I'm sure was those things. I'm sure he could figure out, high-level engineering problems and so on and so forth. He could get good grades in school and he had a high IQ. I'm talking about something different. Something that even somebody who's simple and slow can do, and that is to think right. Jesus always thought right. He thought about God's will. He thought about eternity. He thought about the consequences of his actions. He thought about other people rather than just himself. He thought right. That brings me back to an old tool that we used during our Triune Man unit. Remember this? The wave machine? The wave represents our souls. And our soul, under the influence of the Spirit, will go this way, and our soul, under the influence of the flesh, will go that way. The soul teams up with the Spirit or with the flesh. But today, I'm talking more about specifically about our thinking. So the blue wave represents our thought, right thinking or wrong thinking. When our thinking is right, the results are peace. Our mind will actually be guarded by the peace of God. It will bring about togetherness as a church, where we will move together. It will encourage us to do service. It will create tolerance for us of suffering and the ability to suffer. And it will bring to our minds always the future plan of God and promises of God. Whereas if our thinking is wrong and the blue wave goes down toward this side, it brings about all the opposites. Anxiety, division in the church, self-centeredness, and aversion to suffering. And we will be obsessed with the past and our present situation instead of able to reach for what God wants for us. That's what we'll be talking about in home fellowship tonight. God bless.
How do we get him out? How are we not safe?
I bet you he can do it by himself.
You're married.
Did you say you...